name is Svetlana. I'm living in Ukraine. I'm a teacher of English, and I teach students like you in school. I teach English like your teacher does. So, guys, today I will tell you, can you please, Harry, ask you to let me share the screen?
Yes, you can do it now.
I want to show the country I'm from.
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Can you see my screen, guys? Okay, so this is my country. You see, this is Europe. This is my country. My country is colored orange. This is where I live. And these are European countries, So this is Europe. And Ukraine is, this is the flag of Ukraine. The capital of Ukraine is Kiev. People speak Ukrainian language. And I live here. Can you see my, just a minute. I will use my pointer. So I live here, guys. Here, this is my country. Now it is cold in Ukraine. It is autumn. It is raining heavily. And I know that you have a different climate. So you can ask me the questions about my country, about the war in Ukraine. Unfortunately, this is a very difficult, very challenging period in our history. And I want to share some information with you. Harry, maybe you will translate some facts when I speak, if necessary, to the students or not.
Definitely. Shall we go ahead asking the questions?
Yes. Yes, you're welcome.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Dikshit. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My hobbies are reading books and playing games and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a police officer. Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure. Can you please speak slowly? Slowly.
What aid you are getting from the world community?
Question. Thank you very much. So Ukraine receives aid from different countries. There are 50 countries and even more than 50 countries that help Ukraine. And we receive military aid, we receive medical aid, we receive humanitarian aid, like different equipment for hospitals, for refugees, because now it is cold and people need some humanitarian equipment to keep warm and to be safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. So Harry, if you need some time to translate or explain it to students.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Subramanya Srinivas. I am 7th grade student. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My future ambition is to become an IAS officer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
What is the main reason for the conflict between Russia and Ukraine?
What is the reason, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What is the reason of the conflict? I want to show you the the picture, and you can see. Yes, you're right. Russia started the war, and it started on the 24th of February, when more than 200,000 soldiers were sent into Ukraine by Russian government, and they are tanks and other weapon coming to our country. What are the reasons of the conflict? There are some reasons of the conflict, and I want to show you to show you what I have chosen. So the first one is our countries are very different. Ukraine is a democratic country, and Ukraine wants to develop itself as a European country, move to Europe. Ukraine is moving to Europe, and Russia is a autocratic country with one ruler for many years, the same ruler for many years, and then don't want to be democratic. So that's why the ruler of the country, Putin, his name is Putin, the president of Russia, has a mission, like a mission, to restore the new Soviet Union, to get more territories. He needs more territories. And one of the territory he wanted and he wants is Ukraine. He wanted to join Ukraine to Russia, and their country would become bigger. Of course, you know, for when when the country is not democratic, they usually are they are aggressive. This is my point of view. This is one of the reasons. They wanted more territory. And the second reason is that Putin and his politicians and his surrounding, they really hate Ukraine and hate Ukrainians as our views. I have written ideology, but our views are different. Ukraine is independent and it wants to be independent, and Russia is different. They don't want other countries to be independent. So I have written it in other words, but I'm trying to explain it in simple words for you to understand what I'm saying.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. So if you have some more questions about the reasons of the war, I can add more.
Hello, ma'am. My name is K. Galan. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My future ambition is to become an agriculture scientist. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
How many people are estimated to be killed in this war?
Yeah, so very important question. Thank you very much. So there are many people that was killed in Ukraine. So, and unfortunately, they are not only military men. Some of them are civilians. And so we have such numbers as 6,000, more than 6,000 civilians were killed in this war, and more than 9,000 people were injured. And you see, in this picture, you can see a mass grave which was found on the territory which was deoccupied. So first, Russia came and occupied it, and now it is deoccupied. But when Ukrainian soldiers came there, when Ukrainian army came back, they found these graves of civilians, and people were killed even for the fact they were patriots. Some of them had tattoos with Ukrainian symbols. Some of them had bracelets, yellow and blue bracelets, because they were patriots as well. Or they were saying something about Ukraine, that they're fighting against the occupation. So this is a very, very big tragedy for our country. And I can also show you that children were killed and injured in this war. You see, nearly 1,000 children were killed and injured. And you can see that the children in some Ukrainians have now problems with their feet, with their limbs. They have to attach artificial limbs. Of course, they can't walk anymore, and this is really, really very serious for them and their families.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Not for the hands. Hello. Say hi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Gopi Mandra. I am studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing kabaddi. My future ambition is to become a police officer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
How schools are affected by this?
By this war. Mhm. Yes, so very, very good question. Thank you very much. So the school are affected very dramatically. So you can see people. So these pictures were taken in my school. You see, we have a basement downstairs. You see, downstairs, and when there is a siren, we have air raid alerts, sirens, very often in the daytime and at night. And when there is a siren, people, so we have to keep our children safe, and we bring them to the basement. But this shelter is very small, you see. Sometimes we even give lessons here. In this shelter, we take books and we teach them. Sometimes when it is at night, children just lie there and sleep. That is a problem. So as for the lessons, because this shelter is very small, some students stay at home and have lessons online, and some students come to school, and we exchange them. You know, we have a schedule and we exchange these classes. That is the problem for schools.
So, thank you.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, yes, say yes. Go.
Thank you. Mhm.
Hi, ma'am.
Oh,
My name is Sedipya. I'm studying 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books, playing games, and watching TV. My life ambition is to become a software engineer. Can I ask one question, ma'am?
yes, sure.
How has Ukraine been affected by the war?
By the war. Thank you very much. It is very important to speak about that. And you see, I will show you the shops. The picture I took, and it was at the beginning of the war, when there was no food in the shops, and it was a challenge to find something and to buy to feed your family. But now, thanks to our government, this problem is solved, and we have everything we need in the shop, including food, including vegetables, fruit. But I live in a relatively safe area in the center of Ukraine. But the areas which are occupied are really struggle. People don't have enough food, medicine, water, clothes. Some houses are ruined, absolutely ruined, and and that was a problem for them, because winter is coming, and for people it is a real problem. I want to show you this picture. So more than 25% of the population have left their homes in Ukraine, and they went to Europe. They fled to Europe. Many European countries help Ukraine and provide our people with with the accommodation and food. Some people come to other areas of Ukraine, like mine. We also have refugees, and we provide them, we help them as much as we can. But yeah, it's people left their homes, and it is very, very difficult and stressful for them. Some people lost their families, of course, they were killed. Some people struggle with money because they lost their jobs, and we all together we try to help them. Do you want to know some specific information?
Yeah, at the end of all the students, I would like to ask a few specific questions. I have a volley of questions.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
My name is Sri Lakshmi. I'm studying in 7th grade. My hobbies are reading books and playing games. My life ambition is to become a doctor. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, sure.
Why is Ukraine important to the world?
Where? Can you repeat, please?
Why is Ukraine important to world?
Why Ukraine is important? Wonderful question. Thank you very much for this question. I want to tell you that Ukraine, as you saw, you see in the picture, Ukraine is very big. It is the biggest country, according to the territory, it is the biggest country in Europe. And that's why Ukraine has extensive fertile land, and that's why it is one of the largest grain exporters in the world. Ukraine grow vegetables and food, and Ukraine ship it to other countries. So, for example, if you look at this picture, I have chosen 4 products. One of them is sunflower oil, and Ukraine produce 46% of global exports. It's a lot. And Ukraine give it to India, European Union, and China. So have you seen sunflower oil in India? In the shops?
Yes.
Yes, really?
Yes.
And the second product is maize or corn. Ukraine produces 12% of global exports, and we give it to Egypt, Iran, Turkey, China, and European Union. Then barley, and then wheat. 9% of this product of wheat is exported to other countries. That's why, because of the war, due to the war, many countries suffer from hunger. This is one thing, and the second thing is that the prices. So war in Ukraine drives global food prices crisis, because the prices are increasing worldwide. That is the problem. But this is not the only one thing. Ukraine now is important because Ukraine is fighting for main values in the world. The main values in the world are freedom, independence, and dignity. And that's why many countries are so inspired by and so motivated by how Ukrainians fight, how Ukrainians stand, and how Ukrainians resist in this war. So we fight for these main values, and everyone appreciates that. That is my answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
This is Radhika Priya, a 6th grader. I would like to ask you a question, ma'am.
Yes. Word. What?
What kind
Can
of solution you are expecting to this ongoing conflict between these countries, sir?
You mean what is the solution?
Yes.
Yes, what is the solution of this conflict, of this war? I see the only solution. Ukraine should be strong enough to fight against Russia, and Russia should lose this war. Because if Russia doesn't lose this war, many other countries will see and will think, okay, I can do the same. I can do the same. Nobody can break international laws. Nobody can attack other countries. And that's why Russia should be punished. I really hope that Russia, Putin and his surrounding will be brought to justice, and they will be prosecuted for doing this, because Russia is a terrorist country, and it is now being recognized by parliaments of some countries. And now it is discussed in European Union. The Parliament of European Union may recognize it. So, for example, if a criminal attacks you and does some harm to you, you will not agree with him. You will not be able to persuade him not to do this. I don't believe that any peace talks might help. Ukrainians believe that we have to fight and to show Russia that this is unacceptable to attack another country. It should not happen to any country in the world. So, what is the solution? Ukraine should be strong. Many countries should join Ukraine in terms of help, in terms of support, in terms of everything. So in this way, it will be solved. This conflict will be solved.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you very much for this question.
So, Svetlana, I have a question from my side.
Yes.
So as you have just stated the fact that everyday newspapers we are able to learn the updates about the war between your country and the Russia, and many of your country people fled to the nearby European countries, and of course even some other countries as well. So here my question is, what was the mental status of the people as you have been experiencing the war threats and the warlike situation in your country? What is the mindset of the people? Do you think that people mindsets in your country are still worrying and depressed? So psychologically, mentally, what kind of state of mind your people are experiencing at this moment, at present?
So thank you very much for this question. So, of course, at the beginning we were shocked, and I remember my hands trembling, my legs trembling. I didn't know what to expect from the very beginning. And it was a big, very, very big stress for all of us. But now people adapt to this situation, if you could adapt to the war, of course. So we know that we have to that we will win, and we strongly believe in this, and we trust our army very much. We help them very much, and we know that our victory depends on our state. If I cry, if I'm weak, if I feel stressful, I will be not able to help my surrounding, to help my student, to support people in my surrounding. That's why I understand that I have to cope with this stress. And what else? What else? It is very important. Something has changed. Before the war, we were saving money. We were planning something for some years ahead. We were dreaming about something. But now our mindset is different. We live one day at a time. And we want to enjoy this day at a time, you know? So we started to appreciate simple things: communication, warm tea, seeing my friends, being in touch with my family, very simple things. And we understand that the value of money is really, really, really small. Of course, we donate a lot. We give away a lot to our army. And we started, like, you know, our priorities have changed very much during this war. And I think it is very important. I
Yes.
really like it.
Yes, I really appreciate you, the people, backing your army than anybody in the world. I am sure that one day you will emerge victorious over the opponent Russia, and I wish that it will happen very soon. And one more question I would like to ask you: that what are the ground level issues that your people experiencing other than we have discussed so far? What are the other things that your people are experiencing?
I think that it's not like issue, it's new experience that we face, and we learn a lot from this situation. You know, I don't consider it like an issue. I accept it as a new experience.
Yes.
Of communication, on learning. By the way, it is very important fact that this war is more information war than fighting in the field. You know, because propaganda of Russia plays very important role in it. And that's why I understand, as a teacher and as a citizen of Ukraine, I understand how important it is to develop critical thinking in our students, not in the students, but in people. That is what the war made us think about this. You know, this experience taught us and still is teaching us a lot. That is what I think is important.
So we have just seen some pictures of your students, and they are you are safeguarding your students, and from day and night, and whenever the alarming bell rings, you are taking them to some safer places. So,
Yes.
what kind of the trauma that your students are experiencing, because they are not that much mature to understand the situation
Yes.
outside, and what is the mindset of the students? Do they need psychological experts? I mean, do they need any mental experts to treat their mental disorders?
Yes, so some people who come from the areas which are occupied now, we have such students from occupied areas. Some of the cities are totally destroyed, totally. And I see how difficult for my students is to see their city in the picture that is totally destroyed. You know, they know these streets, they know these houses, they remember everything, and they understand that they will never come back to this city, probably, or to the same city. Of course, Ukraine is deoccupying step by step. Ukraine is making advances, and it has already deoccupied 50% of the territories. that were occupied from the war, from the time when the war started. But for children, it's a very big problem and psychological problem. So yes, all of them probably will have some psychological help in the future. Now we are not able to provide every one of them with psychological help, but we have these services for free all over the country. They know, we spread this information. They can call to the center, they can tell them what they feel, and a psychologist will help them. We have a lot of psychologists now, military psychologists for children, so many who work in many directions, and it's a trauma for them. Yeah, definitely.
So how many children, how many students that are studying in your school currently have lost their parents from this war?
So in my school is really school in my territory is relatively safe, because we had only one strategic object, a military airport, and it was destroyed at the beginning of the war. And and sometimes my area was shelled recently. It was infrastructure, power station. You know that now Russia is fighting with civilians. They're not able to make advances on the field, so they have chosen, like terrorists, they started to shell in infrastructure, power stations, and it is being shelled in my area. That's why we sometimes have power outage, and sometimes we don't have water. Sometimes we can't, because of electricity, lack of electricity, we can't warm the apartments. We can't keep warm. And of course, students lose their motivation in this period of time. They don't know what to expect when the war is finished, whether they enter the university or not, whether they are able to take these exams or not. And we teachers try to support them. And in my area, very few people, in my surrounding, very few people left Ukraine. Most of my colleagues from my school are staying here in Ukraine. Most of my students are staying here, and we support them as much as possible.
Yeah, food, in terms of food or any other things.
We don't, in my area, that's everything is okay. We have enough. We even share with the areas that that have some humanitarian crisis, which are occupied. Of course, we can't provide the areas which are occupied, unfortunately, but we share. We send for free. We send these boxes with food and with clothes to the people in other areas, and we receive some from Europe. European countries send them for Ukraine. But for now, in my area, everything is okay. In terms of food, I mean.
Yes, yes. And one more thing that I would like to ask you, and so there should be the scarcity of the doctors in your country because of the war torn, and many people, many civilians are being injured due to the war. So is there that much scarcity of the doctors in your country at this moment?
No, I don't know about that. I haven't heard about that. Of course, very few very few doctors fled the country. Many of them are staying here. Some of them work in military hospitals, just staying there and work as usual. We have volunteers, so people who learn about the first aid, and they go to the front line and help military men. So that's not a problem now for Ukraine, fortunately. Thank you very much, guys, for
Yeah.
your questions.
Yes, and
Please.
we would like to request you to give a final message. And before you would like to give the final message, we would like to observe the mourning for the people that were killed in your country due to this war between your country and the Russia. We would
Thank
like.
you very much, guys. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very
so
much.
much. And would you like to give a final message to my students?
The final message. Thank you very much, guys, for your interest, for your questions. We hope that every one of us will live in peace, and every country will be able, including India, will be able to live the way the people choose. And I hope that we will stay in touch, and we will tell each other about our country. We will, yes, we will be like friends. Thank you very much again.